Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bahrain Now. I'm your host, Bara Abdallah. In the show, we bring you the country's latest trends, talents, and talks, all that happening in our episode tonight with Bahrain Now. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. And now, in our COVID-19 update, we are joined by Dr.Basma Alsafar, Consultant Public Health and Head of Immunization Group, Public Health Directorate, Ministry of Health, to talk to us about the advice measures for the coming stage. Hello, Dr. Basma.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, doctor. So tell us about how the vaccination campaign is going and what has been advised and achieved so far.
Since the start of the vaccination campaign in the Kingdom of Bahrain, we have seen a lot of people who are coming to take the vaccine from Bahraini and citizens in the Kingdom of Bahrain. And that means they trust the services, especially the preventive services in the Kingdom of Bahrain. And we have seen a lot of people, they book for their appointments and they came to take the vaccine everywhere in the exhibition center and in the primary care and as well in King Hamad University Hospital. And that's mean of their knowledge and their high appreciation of the situation that they need to take the vaccine to protect themselves and to protect the others.
Thank you very much. So what's your advice to citizens and residents who took the vaccine?
At this stage, if they took and completed the course of vaccination of 2 doses of the vaccines recommended against COVID, they have to continue using all the protective measures, including the face mask, social distancing, and continuous hand washing and hand hygiene, and to avoid being in crowded places because still COVID is there and it is transmitted in the community. And even if they took 2 doses, it doesn't mean they are 100% protected because still the efficacy of the vaccines is variable. Some of them give like 95% protection, some will be 86% and some 92%. So variable protection, and they need to make sure that they are continuing to use all the protective measures to avoid contracting the infection from others.
Thank you very much. Now, is there anything else you would like to add?
I'd just like to add and to emphasize about the importance of vaccination of all those who are eligible, adults from 18 years and above, and for Pfizer vaccine from 16 years and above, to take the vaccine. And those who are eligible to be vaccinated should be vaccinated earlier because unfortunately there are people who cannot take the vaccine because of some contraindication. So for those who are eligible, they should take it to protect the others and to have what we call herd immunity in our population and to prevent this pandemic from spreading more as it affects our life from all aspects, social, economic, and financial, and everything was affected because of COVID. So we need to end this pandemic with the cooperation and with the help of the others and support of the community and engagement of all the community members. And protection is better than getting the infection with all of its related complication. And we have seen many people dying because of the complication of COVID. So to get the vaccine, and even if the vaccine might have some reaction happened, and this is like other vaccines, it is much more beneficial to take the vaccine rather than to get the infection and related complication.
Yes, doctor. Together, we will stop the spread. Thank you very much, Dr. Basma, for being with us here today on Bahrain Now. A non-profit campaign aiming to encourage leisurely reading in our community. Let's check out the following report by our very own Mariam El-Bayati.
The People, as the name implies, is a mindful outdoor space for all the people of Bahrain. a relaxing space that provides its visitors with access to a wide variety of books, from poetry and history to comics and even children's literature, because reading has no age limit. Bookshelves surrounded by comfy beanbags and a breathtaking sea view.
Hi, my name is Reem bin Shams and I'm a volunteer at The People. The People is a beautiful initiative made by the Bahraini youth, and what it does is it brings people together. This initiative builds a community where people can come, sit and read, and the beauty of it is that it's for all ages. As you can see, we have kids sections, we have different events like the one we're having right now, and we have different activations for the adults as well. We're going to be having, inshallah, leadership programs, event management programs, all at The People. Another point to be added is that anybody can come here and sit, whether they love to read or they don't. In the end, it's an open community for people to feel motivated to pick up a book or to see people reading or to spend a good time in a good place. This is what The People is about.
Hello, I am a volunteer here at The People. I am Mahira, and The People is an open-air space reading campaign. It's a community to introduce reading and reading into Bahrain public, because it's really something new in Bahrain. We didn't find anything like that in Bahrain before, so it's basically an open-air space for people to encourage and for them to come and read here. And we have over here more than 600 books that have been donated to us, and we got more than 200 volunteers helping us out here. So we're here every day from 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. during the weekdays and 9 p.m. during the weekend. I would just like to say that it's a really good initiative in Bahrain for the first time, and we would like to spread out the awareness of reading, the awareness of, as they say, knowledge is power. So we're looking forward to spread as much as knowledge around people, not just for regarding a specific genre, but multiple types of genre over here. So, and also for people to come and communicate and blend and share their ideas based on what they learned through reading or what they want to pass on a message to other community in Bahrain.
Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be. Reporting for Bahrain International, I'm Mariam Al-Bayati. Thank you for watching.
What a beautiful space with a lovely sea view. With us here today is Noor bin Shams and Nejood Hesham. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. We're very actually happy to be here. It's lovely to meet you in person, Bara.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. So the setup and all of that, tell us more about it.
First of all, I think it's important to mention that The People is a non-for-profit community set up by Nejood and myself. Our aim is really to make reading a leisurely activity as a part of people's daily lives.
Okay.
This means creating a comfortable environment, a lovely environment. We chose Water Garden City. It's directly overlooking the sea.
Totally.
The bookshelves came from IKEA, and the comfortable beanbags were from a very supportive startup company called Nejood. And I think all of these elements together make sure that people are relaxed to stay at our space for like 30 minutes to an hour to really indulge in reading a book. So I think that kind of like sums everything up.
Pretty much. And all ages are like welcomed to the campaign itself?
Yeah, actually, we're welcoming all type of ages because we do have as well a wide variety of books ranging from history, poetry, and self-development, as well as novels. And also, we've created a special zone for kids, for the little ones to enjoy.
Okay, what's your favorite books?
Mine is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It's really my favorite. So,
well, my season favorite, what actually kickstarted all this was don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff. So I kind of, during Corona, it's like implementing each and every lesson. So I think that's my current favorite.
No, pretty much it's beautiful what you did here, but what made you do it? It's like, all of a sudden, social media, the internet, YouTube, Fortnite, BTS, and all that kind of stuff happening with the pop culture. But then, you decided to go with this initiativity. So what made you do this?
Well, of course, because of the pandemic, everything, we were all kind of like locked down. We created our own personal spaces at home to read, but after a while, you know, you kind of like, it's fine for you to leave the house as long as you are maintaining all of the safety measures.
Right.
So, and Jude and I would actually go by the sea and we'd bring our own books. We'd kind of like create a very like
Choose this place.
Exactly.
Nice.
And you know, it was just like, why don't we share this experience with others? I mean,
Beautiful.
since we picked up reading during COVID, maybe we'll encourage others as well.
Totally, totally. So how was the reception so far?
Well, we were actually shocked and amazed by the reaction that we received.
And of course, special thanks goes to His Excellency Mr. Ayman Al-Muayyad, the Minister of Youth and Sports Affairs, for his support on social media, and also us and our team are really appreciated for his support.
Exactly. I mean, he really energized us, and we reached up to more than 180 volunteers.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. And we collected more than 600 books from all across Bahrain. Something that we didn't expect, we expected that we'd buy these books, but actually people were very generous and they really wanted to contribute by donating. It's been a month since we've launched and we're at 2K followers.
2K followers?
Yes.
Like 2 days ago.
2K
Yeah.
for one.
We're so
That's
happy.
it. I'm going to be a follower as well after this.
Yes.
That's definitely it. So how's the communication going on? You go there, you read the book, but I'm sure there's like some sort of social aspect to it as well.
Oh, if you could elaborate, what do you mean by social aspect?
Like, you know, we sit down, you read a book right now, but then you feel like you want to communicate as well, the communication side of it. So how is the social life going on with the campaign?
Well, it really depends. There are some people who do come there to kind of like socialize or get to know more about our community. People are intrigued and curious in that aspect. However, if we feel like someone is really there to indulge in reading, then us as volunteers, we kind of give them that space, just for them to feel reassured that we're here. And we make sure that everyone who passes by knows that we have some events coming up in the pipeline to kind of like further communicate and socialize with everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. So how long the campaign is going to go for?
Actually, we're planning, if the weather allows us to, we're going to stay till the end or mid of March. Also,
our timings are kind of were a bit different initially, but now we've settled with 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the weekdays and until 9 p.m. During the weekends, yes.
Wow.
So it was kind of like all of the volunteers, we pitched in what time suited everyone.
Right.
And this is the final timings that we've concluded with.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful startup, that's for sure.
Thank you.
So we're starting here, but I'm sure you have like plans ahead, like other campaigns, other places. So any sneak peek maybe we can know about?
We're actually trying to scout as much as we can touristic hotspots in Bahrain because we want the people to be found in all across Bahrain.
Right.
So we can have Bahrain as a well-read and a literate community. So
exactly, it's really important that we have these long-term plans, but to be very realistic, as this is a personal initiative, for us to become a culture that is well-read and literate, then that means we need to onboard sponsors, people to adopt our community as well, so that we can really expand and reach our goals.
I just want to say thank you so much for doing this and then to take this initiativity, you know, like for example, I got a son and a daughter, right? And I would love them to pass by your campaign and be part of it and just live it and enjoy, you know, away from Fortnite, away from YouTube a bit, and actually read a book, you know, be like, I would say, have a relationship with the book, you know, and just, like you said, a well-read community and culture.
I agree. We actually have a lot of kids who pass by. So at first, people would know about our space because of the restaurants.
Right.
Later on, we find out that parents actually bring their kids deliberately to the space.
Amazing.
Because there are some interesting books that kids seem to enjoy the most. And it's so an amazing feeling, seeing kids not want to play in the playground or running around, and they'd actually rather sit down and read.
And also we do have like those regular kids who always get to come. We're so happy like to see them coming and grabbing like a book and reading. So it's an amazing feeling, honestly.
I can see it in your face right now. How happy you are about this, definitely. And I'm happy that you guys did it. You know, I'm happy that you actually took the step and went with it. Like, how are your families about this? Like, how do they feel about it? Like, did they encourage you? Did they like, oh, be careful, it's, you know, the pandemic?
No, I mean, I think our families are very supportive, especially when it comes to career. So career comes first. If my mom would check up all the time, her parents would always pass by. Exactly. So they're amazing. Seriously, like no words. No
Amazing.
words.
600 books, people coming in all the time, kids and all of that. Bless you for making this happen.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you so much.
Really, really. So, any last words or things you want to tell to the viewers, like something they want them to know about what's going on with the campaign?
For everyone's watching us here, we would love to have you at our campaign, and it's a lovely way to spend your time with your friends and to invest in your time as well.
Exactly, and what we like to focus on is community collaboration. So we really hope everyone watching collaborates with us, whether they come visit to read a book, donates, volunteer, or maybe even sponsors who would like to be a part of this initiative. Thank you so much for having us, Bara. Follow us on Instagram.
Done.
Perfect.
Promise.
Thank you.
Definitely is going to happen. I would love to pass by, but I'm a very slow reader. You know, I read one paragraph or one line, I'm like, okay, I think he meant this.
Well, it's the relationship between yourself and the book, right? So no one here is here to judge. It's how you interpret things. And we'd be more than happy to kind of like suggest books, maybe find a genre of your interest from the wide variety that we have. There are some interesting books in there.
There is a book right now that I'm looking into. It's called The Solve for Happy by Mo Gaudet.
Okay.
He took happiness and he made it into an engineering formula. So
Interesting.
I'll take that and see what's going on with it. Maybe I'll bring it over to the campaign
interesting
and just
would
talk
be
about it.
Perfect. We might even have you kind of like share your thoughts on the book on our social media page. I think so that, you know, you could share your experiences, and then others would feel encouraged to share their reviews on books as well. I think that's a kickstart for something interesting.
All right. I think my IQ just went higher with you today. Just talking to you with all the books over. I feel smarter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here, and bless you, and looking forward for more projects and campaigns.
Sure, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
See you soon.
Thanks.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go no further. You know, as we all have a busy life, but you know, spending some time on the sea view with the campaign is a beautiful thing to do right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more here on Bahrain Now. Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature, take care of nature, and nature will take care of you. A group of volunteers started an initiative in love of nature called Hidden Treasure Garden Daraz Project. Let's watch the following report by Walid El-Blouchi. With us in the studio is Mr. Kai Miethig, the founder of Waste and Environmental Awareness Speaker. Sir, Mr. Kai, how are you?
I'm very fantastic. Thank you very much for having me here.
It's a great pleasure. So the word waste, when I saw it, it's not only the word waste, it's like a play of letters and words. Tell us more about that.
Yes, exactly. See, usually the people know the wording waste, obviously.
Right.
But here I combined it with the AI, with the artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So that's why it's called waste, W-A-I-S-T-E. So which means in the future, obviously, we will have the opportunity to use artificial intelligence to clarify all the waste management and the material resource management in order to track it and see the value of it, and then obviously either recycle it, reuse it, so we keep actually the value with the help of AI and blockchain technology.
That's a lot. Blockchain technology as well with AI.
Must be combination, always.
That's amazing.
AI will not work without blockchain, and together we have waste.
So you're into environment and AI and blockchain all together in one. That's amazing.
Yeah, actually, as a human, we are related to each and everything what comes up. Technology, now AI is changing the world, obviously, with IT and all these kind of things. And on the other hand, obviously, we have nature, which we belong to. And unfortunately, the humans are the only species worldwide who's creating waste from the day or from the minute, from the second we are born, till we pass away and go back to Mother Nature.
Right. So with that all been said now, the initiative itself, what made you do it?
Tiras is a nice place. I've been there before.
Okay.
But I got a call from a lady who were cleaning up this area previously.
All right.
And they did not really continue. So then she got my contact details somehow, somewhere, and said, Kai, why you don't come visit? We see the place.
Right.
And then we checked out. We see, okay, there is a big opportunity to make something unique.
Right.
I'm as well a tourist guide by BTA certified. So why not creating something unique for Bahrain, maybe even in the region?
Beautiful.
So I was Googling and doing some research.
Okay.
And I found this pocket forest, which is developed by a Japanese guy.
Yes.
And it's actually a condensed forest with local plants and trees in a very tight area, which will become after 3 to 6 months self-sustainable, which means you don't need to water it, to treat it. And the idea behind it is that as well, at this time then, you know, insects, the birds are coming, so it maintains itself. So like a mini Amazonas at the end.
Nice.
So this was the idea then, and then say, okay, let's do it and call it Hidden Treasure Garden, and then in Tiras. So, and we did now 2 phases, which is cleaning up the trash what's lying around there, same time segregating it to bring the recyclables to the recycle facilities for aluminium, cardboard and plastic, and then the remain obviously goes to the general trash. So the second phase was last Saturday, where we do education session, or we call it edutainment.
Okay.
So we give some ideas how to compost, how to reduce food waste, and how to do all these kind of things, and to enrich in the future then next sessions then the soil within this area.
Okay.
And then in the next phases, we will take the plants which are surrounding the areas, take them and relocate them, trim the certain areas to plant actually this condensed forest to have the first pocket forest here in Bahrain then.
Self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable, which is very important, because elsewise you need to put water, energy, treatment and these things, but at the end nature will take care of itself, and then nature will take care of us as well.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So with all that been said, now what about the awareness side of things? Like for something so intellectual yet so caring, but what about the awareness side of it?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Actually, with each kind of activities, we have a lot of talks in between with different kind of people. They have different kind of questions.
Right.
And as said, last week we had this edutainment session where to raise awareness that food or food remains is actually not really waste. So we can convert it into soil by composting or by the worms to enrich the soil here in Bahrain. Because unfortunately, the soil is obviously not the most nutritious one. So to enrich with the food remains, the soil, let the plants easily grow, and then again let them become self-sustainable. So then Mother Nature again will take care of us. If we have a beautiful green nature around us, it makes our life much better, I guess.
Now, we've been hearing about volunteers, second part of that. So what kind of support the volunteers would like to give or would like to find as well?
See, any kind of support is welcome. So first of all, we need obviously man or as well woman power, obviously.
Okay.
So to help cleaning and to help enriching the soil, to do even composting at home with the kitchen waste and these things. So there is actually plenty of possibilities for the volunteers to join, gain some knowledge, and start as well maybe a short initiative in their area, which
Right.
is actually then the key how to spread environmental awareness, because not only doing it in your own certain small area, but rather than being a multiplier to spread the word and encourage more people to come and to join, and maybe have then some other areas as well, a new pocket forest, because the area which pocket forest needs is maybe, I don't know, 30 by 30 meter, 25 by 25 meter, so you can actually have multiple pocket forests here in Bahrain.
Okay, so pocket forests, hidden treasures. Do you see more of that happening in Bahrain?
Yes, because we have a lot of hidden areas which
Okay.
are kind of neglected, and which as actually a small group of people can handle it, you know, and once it becomes self-sustainable, even let's say the municipality, they don't need to have a dedicated team for this one,
Okay.
just to look after it once in a while, and that's it. I mean, nobody cares really about the Amazonas, you know, it's self-sustainable and it's a lung of the Mother Earth. So same, why not have this small pocket forest in some areas as well as a kind of lung, and as well a kind of educational background where we can put maybe signs to see the people, okay, which kind of tree or which kind of plant is planted there,
Right.
to have really a good feeling. And one other part of the area is a so-called earthing or grounding, which means the people can actually walk bare feet to feel the soil, to feel the leaves, walk in mud,
Right.
walk in water,
Yeah.
to really have reconnect to nature. And this whole then gives you a different kind of surrounding and different kind of feeling,
Right.
being in nature rather than in the desert.
Well, I would love to do that actually, you know.
Yes, feel free to come.
Definitely. It's going to be a beautiful visit. So how can we reach you? Like Instagram, emails?
Yeah, most likely nowadays, like everybody is on Instagram.
Right.
So on my account, Miethig, people can easily connect to me, send me a message, and then I will reply, exchange numbers, put you in the group, and then we have an administration group of 8 people who are doing the coordination, and then obviously we have the volunteer group where the people then can just jump in or invited by link, participate, and then we'll give all the instruction, all what is required from the volunteer side to bring, like for example, reusable water bottle,
Okay.
the reusable mask,
Right.
the reusable gloves, because we don't want to create waste. We want to reduce as much as possible and
Reduce
then connect back with Mother Nature.
Amazing, amazing. To reconnect back to nature.
Yes.
I would love that, definitely. Everybody wants that, that's for sure. So any last words, advice you would like to give to our viewers?
The first thing is obviously to reduce our daily consumption or the production of waste on a daily basis, which can be easily done if you take, for example, with shopping, you take your reusable bag. Because everybody goes out, you never forget your mobile, you never forget your wallet and this kind of stuff, but you go shopping, oh, I don't have a bag with me.
Okay.
I have always 3 bags in my car, the reusable one, the big ones, you know, and 3 in the kitchen. So whenever I come and go, I don't use actually since years any kind of plastic bags. And then on the other hand as well, on a daily basis, the reusable bottle.
Right.
Okay, you fill your water at home, take it with you. It's not very heavy. So these are big steps, but can be easily accomplished and they make a big impact on the environment. So I personally do more and more the minimalism, which is reducing
Right,
to what
minimalism,
you
yeah.
really need. You know, actually everybody has, I don't know, 100 pairs of shoes, the
Right.
ladies maybe. But on the other hand, how many pairs of shoes we need, how many different kind of stuff we need when we go for dinner. Eat what you need, not what is fitting on the plate.
Right.
You know, to avoid the food waste, all the effort is then literally thrown. So minimalism is actually a good and easy step for everyone to start with.
Minimalism.
You know,
Okay.
don't or let things go into your life. Just avoid what's not required. You know, if you get an extra bag, say no. No is a very easy word to say to avoid things coming into your life, because then you will be responsible for it.
Right.
And to avoid responsibility, is sometimes better and more easy to handle rather than taking everything and then, oh, you need to solve it.
Minimalize life.
Yes.
Okay,
Very
yeah, that's a beautiful advice right there. Well,
Yes.
Mr. Kai, thank you so much for the advice and for the talk, and looking forward to actually join you in this journey.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Anytime welcome. And as I said, everybody is welcome. We need more and more environmental aware people, and then spread the news.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for your efforts.
Thank you very much, Badia. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, take care of nature, and nature will take care of you. More coming up right here on Bahrain Now. So, ladies and gentlemen, feeling artsy? I know I am. Let's dive into another segment of Fresh Off the Desk with Khaled Hejres.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another segment of Fresh Off the Desk, where we talk to local Bahraini artists, whether they're traditional artists or if they're writers. So today we've got Ghazi Shehabi, and we're going to talk to him today about his poetry. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a bit about how you got started with poetry.
To go back to all the way to high school where, you're young, you're feeling a lot of emotions, you don't know how to, describe them. So I just ended up listening to a lot of angry music and writing down what I felt. And it just evolved over time. I try to capture whatever I'm feeling and lay it out there in as whichever artistic fashion that I am choosing for the title or the poem at the time.
And usually, I write myself, but like I can never write with listening to music. Like, what's your process like when you sit down and you want to write something up?
The thing is, though, there's no like one trick to it. It depends on the feeling, the mood at the time. Sometimes I'm just hit by like inspiration. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to sit down and write this and like just zone out everything else. I can't listen to anything. I can't do anything else. I just sit down and write it in one go. Other times it just stays in the back of my mind like an idea, and then it's like, okay, wait, let me build on this. Let me see if I can do this with it. Can I turn it into like a structure, play with it a little bit? It all depends on like whichever emotion I'm trying to capture. And to say that I have a fixed system would be a lie.
No, I understand that. With art, you can't really have like a fixed set of procedures, can you?
People can do like, structures and like certain, let's say, signature styles to them. Some people like to rhyme, some people like to have a meter. I fluctuate, sometimes I like to challenge myself, like, okay, let's do something that is more free flow. Well, most of my stuff does go more free flow. Sometimes like, okay, let's try to stick with a rhyme this time. And I try to, just to, for the sake of diversity, do something a little different every now and then.
Do you have a personal poem of yours that's like your favorite?
Oh boy. See, that's a difficult question because, like most artists, I hate everything that I write or do.
Oh my God.
But there are a few that I am proud of. My most recent one, The Void, I like very much because it was me sort of just stepping out of my regular comfort zone, doing something a little different. Some of my older pieces, like Sea of Fiction, is one that I like a lot because I really like playing with alliteration, and like there are some others which are a bit more self-indulgent for me, that are just me throwing away all sorts of pretense of like poetry and just like yelling directly at the readers, which is fun.
Yelling directly at the readers, that's a good one. Please tell me you've used that as a line.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we're gonna look out for that one.
Oh, now you stole the idea. Now I can't take it.
Oh no, by all means. We believe in sharing here.
Of course.
So, what were the biggest, like, a lot of people say that they're influenced, for example, by certain mediums. It's not always just music. It's not always just literature. For you, let's say if we had to say there was a specific set of media that really influenced you, which sets of media would that be?
Outside of music, I would say my biggest influence isn't like a set of media. My biggest influence is just, living in the world, try to get by life. And sometimes someone would just say something, or I would like hear just a strange comment and be like, that's a good line. That's a good line. And I would just like write that down. And like my most recent poem was influenced by Dungeons and Dragons of all things.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Just because of that emotional attachment to that scene or that moment or like certain ideas. But yeah, I can't really say like there's one specific medium because it's just part of life, and that's what I try to capture in my poetry, like my experiences, my feelings about everything that's going on.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's a mosaic, right?
Yeah.
Very chaotic mosaic.
That is a good way of describing my writing. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, use that one.
Chaotic mosaic.
So now I want to move on to talk to you a bit about, like, for example, how did you actually get to sharing your poetry? Because I know it can be quite intimidating to put yourself out there.
It started with just like trying to get certain people's opinions, like, hey, how do I get better? What would you do to fix it? And then I just started performing, doing open mics and poetry nights at certain places, and I fell in love with the act of getting up on stage and performing. I've always been like, I love drama and theater, and being able to do something specifically as my writing that depicts me, that is an amazing sensation.
Which platform did you start with, digitally speaking?
Like going all the way back, I mean, it was simply just like sharing it on to like friends on MSN. Like we were going all the way back there.
Really old school, huh?
Just friends, like online friends, friends that are here, USB sticks.
Oh wow, passing around poetry and USB sticks.
You make it sound a lot more interesting than it was, but no, it's because we didn't have cell phones, didn't have smartphones back then. I couldn't just text someone a whole paragraph.
Yeah, and with the number tag as well. Ooh. Yeah, that would have taken a long time.
Exactly. And sometimes, like, going even further back, I had, like, everything down on these little things called notebooks, and people write things down with their hands.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember learning about that in a history lesson.
Yeah, back in the Jurassic period. And, what I said, like, earlier, like, what started with during, like, high school, like, that was, like, how I would share it with people, like, ask them, like, hey, I wrote this thing, take a look, let me know what you think. That's as far as it went. But now with social media, it's like, I can just post something and have people from all over the world read it. Well, all over the world, they say. Well, yeah.
No, I'm sure.
The few poor people who end up following me.
So, I mean, actually, I do want to talk to you a bit more about that. Like, for example, you were mentioning how you were passing it around with friends, right? Yeah. Do you have, like, a trusted inner circle who you like to share with before you actually go and post it to the world?
Yeah, there are a few. Like, the thing is, I want to call them the Sad Poetry Society, but I think they have a different name. But there's a group of us who are frequent these open mics and poetry nights, especially at places like Sonder and the Raven's Nest. And, we kind of built this community. We like to share things amongst each other and get feedback. Things about social media, it's got to look good to get people's attention first, blank text on, blank background doesn't get a lot of people's eyeballs. So that is a very important element, and being part of that group, part of that community has really helped, I think, everyone.
Your Instagram is actually very pretty to look at, and like when you think of writers, you don't really imagine, like their social media pages looking too exciting. So how do you decide the visuals that go with your poetry?
Sometimes I pick like, okay, this is, I would like to have a certain color or a theme to go along with the poem, and then I reach out to my designer friends who are fantastic and who actually know a thing or two about making things look pretty, and then they do all the work, and I make sure to credit them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You've got like a little army at your disposal.
Not a little army. It's just a few friends who are, doing really good work.
That's amazing to hear, and I'm glad you have them because, again, your Instagram looks amazing. They're doing a great job, and so are you.
Thank you.
So let's end off with one question, like the most important one. Anyone who wants to become a poet, what would be your words to them?
Poetry is it's not something you do because you want to be rich and famous. It's something you do because it's a way of expressing yourself. It's a way of, releasing all whatever those feelings of anxiety or dread or fear or love or hate that's inside you out in the page. And the only thing I would say to people is just keep writing. And yeah, there might be times where you just don't want to do it anymore. There might be times where you feel like, you know, no one cares or no one's reading it. But as long as you keep doing it, you will find an audience. You will get better. You will eventually maybe like what you write at some point. That is a big hurdle.
Those are some powerful words. You should put that in a book.
I've been trying. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. We had an amazing talk with Ghazi, who, as you can see, is a very lively character. Be sure to follow him on his social media so you can never miss any of his poems. And thank you once again for tuning in. Take care now, and catch you next time.
And that's it for tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Don't forget to further reach us out through our social media accounts. Till next time, good night and God bless.